Hi guys, this is Sadek from Webroom.com, and in this video, we'll show you how to root the Nothing Phone 2 via kernel SU. So please take a backup of all the data on your phone and then let's get started. First of all, you'll have to find a kernel that supports kernel SU. As for this video, we are using the RTL kernel, but you are free to use any one of your choice. Just make sure that it supports the kernel SU. So first off, get hold of the kernel from this link. It's the official link. So go there and download the Android 15 build. I am on the Android 15, so I'm using this. If you are on Android 14, you can download this build. So for Android 15, download the latest build, which is R40 as of now, and download the kernel which has the kernel SU in it, which is this one, not the first one. So once you've got the kernel SU boot.img file, let's move ahead. Moreover, the kernel file is flashed in the boot partition, so you'll also have to take a backup of the boot partition, because if something goes wrong, you could simply flash the boot.img file and make your phone up and running once again. So please take a backup of the boot partition, or simply for that you may download the same firmware which is installed onto your phone. So for that, go to the settings menu, about phone, Nothing OS, and note down the build number and download the firmware which correspond to this build number. In my case, as you could see, this is the firmware which I've got, the version 3.0, which is Android 15, and this is 24.12.07.0124. As you could see, it's the same firmware which I've got. So just copy the boot.img file firmware, and this is the backup file. So if something goes wrong, you just have to flash the stock boot.img file and the issue will be rectified. Anyways, once you've got the backup, let's move ahead. So now you have to get hold of the Android FCK platform tools from my guide and extract them onto your PC. You may extract them anywhere you want. In my case, I've done so in C drive. As you could see, these are the files of platform tools. Once that is done, you will now have to enable USB debugging and OEM unlocking. That debugging is required for ADB command, whereas OEM unlocking is required to unlock the bootloader on your phone. So let's now enable both the toggles. For that, go to the settings menu, then about phone, Nothing OS, tap on build number 7 times. This will enable the developer options. Now go back, go to system, developer options, and enable the toggle next to OEM unlocking as well as USB debugging. You'll now get a prompt, tap on OK. You might get one more prompt, so in that prompt, tap on allow. And with this, the debugging is now enabled. Let's verify the same. So go to the address bar of platform tools, type in CMD, hit enter. This will launch command prompt inside the platform tools directory. Now type in ADB devices and verify that you are getting a serial ID. Once you are getting this ID, let's move ahead with the next step. So now you have to unlock the bootloader. Do note that doing so will wipe off all the data and it might make the warranty null and void as well. If that's well and good, simply boot the phone to the fastboot mode and then use the fastboot flashing unlock command. You will then get a prompt on your phone. So use the volume key to highlight, unlock the bootloader, and press the power key to confirm. With this, the bootloader will be unlocked and your phone will boot to the OS. Once that happens, please make sure to re-enable USB debugging once again as well. Once you have unlocked the bootloader, let's now move ahead. So now you have to boot the phone to the fastboot mode. So let's get that job done. Type in ADB reboot bootloader. Okay, before that, one more thing, please transfer the kernel file onto your phone as well. So keep one copy on your PC and transfer the other copy onto your phone. So for that, let me enable USB debugging, the file transfer from here, and the kernel file should be somewhat here only. Download, this is the kernel boot.img file. Transfer the file onto your phone as well and leave one copy on the PC. Once that is done, you may now boot the phone to the fastboot mode. Type in ADB reboot bootloader, hit enter. Your phone should now boot into the fastboot mode in a few seconds. Once that happens, type in fastboot devices. Just give me a second. Type in fastboot devices and verify that you are getting a serial ID. If you are not getting this ID, you will have to install the fastboot drivers onto your PC. We have made a guide and a video on the same. You can refer to a guide and install the drivers. Likewise, also hit the Windows X shortcut keys, open device manager, then expand the Android phone section and verify that your phone is shown here as Android bootloader interface. So this, as well as the ID next to the fastboot, signify that your PC is able to read the phone in fastboot mode, and we are now good to go ahead. So next up, let's start with the flashing process. Regarding this, there are 3 approaches. You could either use the fastboot command, a custom recovery, or the kernel flasher app. The third method requires root. Second method requires a recovery like TWRP or OrangeFox, whereas the first method only requires a fastboot command. I'll show you all the 3 methods, but the fastboot command is the recommended approach. So let me show you how you could get this job done by this method. So first off, transfer the kernel file onto your platform tools folder. So the kernel file is over here. Let's transfer it here in the platform tools folder, which is over here. Likewise, rename it to something shorter. So let's rename it to kernel. Hit enter and now type in the command fastboot flash partition name which is boot, file name which is kernel.img, hit enter. The kernel file will now be flashed, and in the boot partition, once that is done, type in fastboot, reboot. Your phone should now boot to the OS and should have the kernel installed. You could verify if you have installed the kernel or not using the kernel SU app, because this kernel supports the kernel SU. So install the kernel SU app from GitHub. This is the official page. Expand show all asset, and from here scroll down to the kernel SU APK file, which should be here. Let me just verify it once. The kernel SU APK, well, I cannot find it. Okay, this is the APK. Download the APK from here and transfer the APK onto your phone as well. Start download, and our phone is now in the OS with the custom kernel is now installed. Now let's verify if we have the kernel SU or not onto our phone. If we have the kernel SU, this means that the kernel which we have flashed supports the custom kernel. But if your phone does not support the kernel SU, then it means that the kernel which you have flashed does not support kernel SU. So you have to flash a different kernel then in that case. So let's verify if the kernel, the outer kernel which you have flashed, supports the kernel SU or not. That's quite easy to verify. Simply install the kernel SU APK file onto your phone. From here, this is the kernel SU APK. Install it, then launch it, and as you could see, it's now working in the GTI mode. So it's working well and good. Let's now carry out the task using any other approach. So let me now show you how to flash this kernel using a custom recovery. So for instance, let me first remove the kernel from my phone. To remove the kernel, all you have to do is now simply flash the stock boot img file which you have taken a backup. So the backup should be somewhat here. Just give me a second. So this is the backup file of the boot img file. Simply flash this backup, and then the kernel will be removed from your phone. So boot the phone to the fastboot mode. I am just doing that because I have to show the second and third approach as well. But if you are done with the first method, then you may leave the step and guide over here only. You may close down the video. But since I have to show the other two approaches as well, I am removing the kernel file and going back to the stock kernel, fastboot flash boot.img. Just verify it's being installed in the same partition where you have flashed the kernel. As you could see, the kernel was flashed in the boot A partition, and now it's also being flashed in the boot A. Once that is done, just start the phone via the fastboot reboot command or hit the power key, and your phone will now boot to the OS with the stock kernel. The kernel SU and the custom kernel are now removed. So let's now move ahead with the next step, and now I'll show you how to flash the kernel using a custom recovery. So first of all, you have to flash a custom recovery. For that, I'm using the OrangeFox. You may use the OrangeFox or go to RP, both will get the job done. So in case of OrangeFox, the first step has been done. Second step has been done as well. The third step is done as well. Now get hold of the OrangeFox recovery from my guide, and then let's flash it. First off, you could see the kernel has been removed from my phone, and you could see it's not installed. So we will now install the kernel SU using the second approach, which is the custom recovery. So simply boot your phone back to the fastboot mode, and now we will have to first flash the OrangeFox recovery, and then we will install the custom kernel onto your phone. So get hold of the recovery file from here. Once you have got the recovery, you will have to extract the recovery file as well. So this is the OrangeFox recovery. Extract it, get hold of the recovery img file, transfer the file inside the platform tools directory, and once that is done, now you have to flash the recovery as well. Fastboot flash partition name which is recovery, file name which is recovery.img, hit enter, and the OrangeFox recovery will now be flashed onto your phone. And once that is done, type in fastboot reboot recovery, and your phone should now reboot into the OrangeFox recovery in a few seconds. So let's wait for that to happen, and then we will move ahead with the next step of flashing the custom kernel onto our phone. So give it a few more seconds. The custom kernel should be in the IMG format and not a zip format. Please keep this point in mind. So you will now have to flash the IMG file onto our phone using this recovery. So give it a few more seconds, and then we will get the job done as well. So now we are inside the install option. So choose the custom kernel file from here and select the boot partition, because the kernel has to flash in the boot partition. So choose the boot partition and swipe to flash. The custom kernel is now flashed onto our phone. As you could see, flash is successful. Now tap on reboot system, and your phone will now boot to the OS with the custom kernel installed. Likewise, we will then install the kernel SU app and launch the app and verify if the kernel SU has been installed or not. if the custom kernel supports kernel SU, then it should be up and running now, or else you will have to find different kernel that supports kernel SU. In our case, the kernel which we have flashed does support the kernel SU, so the kernel SU should now be up and running on our phone. Let me show you that as well. So let's now launch the kernel SU app over here, and as you could see, it's now working in the GKI mode. Well and good. So guys, now comes the third and final part, which involves flashing a kernel using a kernel flasher app. This process requires root. So for that, you could obtain root via Magisk or Apache. For now, I'm using Magisk, and since we already have a custom recovery installed, we could simply flash the Magisk zip file via the recovery. But before that, I have to go back to the stock kernel. So let me do that as well. So for that, again, I have to flash the stock boot img file. So let me open a CMD window inside the platform tools folder and just type in adb reboot bootloader, and then we will flash the stock boot img file to remove the custom kernel, and then we will flash the stock kernel onto our phone. So now we have to flash the stock boot img file, fastboot flash boot img. This will flash the stock boot img file, and we have removed the custom kernel from our phone. Once that is done, you could now reboot to the custom recovery. So type in fastboot reboot recovery, and now we have to flash the Magisk zip file. You could get hold of the Magisk zip file from my guide, and then transfer the Magisk file onto your phone. So the Magisk zip file should be somewhat here only. This is the Magisk zip. This is the APK. So let's transfer both the files onto our phone. You could get hold of both the files from my article, which I will link in the video description. Once you've got both the files, wait for a few seconds and your phone should now be shown here on your PC. If that does not happen, you could also use the adb push command to get the job done. In my case, the phone is now shown here. So let me transfer both the files, and now simply choose the Magisk zip file. Just let it refresh. This is the Magisk Canary zip file. Strive to flash. Magisk will now be flashed onto your phone in a few seconds, and once that is done, tap on reboot system in a few more seconds. So let's just wait for that to happen. And now we have installed Magisk in the back end, but in the front end there is no app to be installed, so you have to install the Magisk APK file as well. But do keep in mind that after having the Magisk APK, you might again have to do a restart, because the Magisk app requires for some additional file to be flashed as well, some additional dependency to be more precise. So let's wait for that to happen, and then you will flash the tap on OK, and your phone will undergo a reboot, and then you will have to do a direct install. This happens in some cases, so let's see what is the case with ours. First off, install the Magisk APK. Internal storage, Magisk APK. Well, I have transferred the APK over here only, but it's not shown here. That is quite strange. Anyways, let me transfer the file once again. Should be in the download. Okay, I don't know why that is the case. Anyways, let's enable the file transfer from here, and let me once again transfer the files. I don't know why it's not shown there. So APK Magisk Canary APK, transfer the app onto your phone, and now let's install the app as well, Magisk Canary update, because it's there in the backend. So simply you're getting the update option. Require additional setup, tap on OK. Your phone will undergo a reboot in 5 seconds. So wait for that to happen, and after that you should have obtained root on your phone. In rare cases, even after that, you might have to do a direct install, but that is just a one-time requirement and it only happens in rare cases. So let's not wait for that to happen, and then we'll verify the result as well. So our phone should now boot to the OS. Then we will launch the Magisk app to verify what's the case. And once that is done, once you've obtained root, you could then obtain the root via the kernel flasher app as well, and then you could remove Magisk the app, because there's no need to have two root on your phone. So you may then remove Magisk once you've obtained root via the kernel SU app. So let's first verify what's the case over here. So unlock the phone, launch the Magisk app, and let's see what happened this time around. So whether it's asking, okay, it's also asking for a direct install. This might take some time as you're having a look, but it's just for a one-time usage. From the next time onward, it will not happen. So a little bit of patience is required, and this is the final step. Now we will not have to do anything whatsoever, because we now have obtained root, and now we could easily simply flash the kernel SU app and get the job done. So let's now wait for one more time. This is the last time we have to wait, and then we could get the job done via a kernel flasher app. So as of now, I'm using this app from GitHub, but there are quite a lot of third-party apps. You may try out any app of your choice, but simply I'm using this app because I've used the app in the past as well, and it's quite a handy app. But the choice is all yours. You may use any app of your choice. With that said, let's first launch the Magisk app. And what is the case? So now we have obtained root, and now you may install the Kernel Flasher app onto your phone. So just give me a second. The internal storage, Kernel Flasher app, install it, open, and tap on grant. And let's now flash the module, the kernel SU using this. So as you could see, the steps are given here. First off, see the active slot, which is A. So tap on view next to the active slot, then choose flash, then flash partition image, choose the boot partition, choose the kernel, which is this one. It will now be flashed. Once done, tap on reboot. Once again, tap on reboot, and your phone will now boot to the OS, and it will have the root via the kernel SU from the custom kernel which you have flashed. So as of now, we will have two root methods, the Magisk and the kernel SU. So now you could remove Magisk from your phone and only use the kernel SU. This approach is not used by many because it's quite a lengthy approach. That is quite understandable. So either use the first method, which is quite a handy and quite fast, or the second approach. The third one will also get the job done, but it's quite a lengthy approach. But still, it will obtain root on your phone as well. So first, let me verify the status of the phone by the app of the kernel SU app. As you could see, it's now working in the GTI mode. So we have obtained root, and this is the kernel Flasher app. So since we have not given it the root via the kernel SU app, that why it's happening. If you give it the root for the kernel Flasher, it will now open onto your phone. As you could just close the app, relaunch it, and it will now open without any issue. So if you now launch the Magisk app, okay, so that is quite great to see. The root from Magisk has been now removed. Your phone no longer have the root from Magisk, so you can now simply easily remove the Magisk app from your phone as well. Just uninstall the Magisk app because we no longer have the root, and you will now only have the root using the kernel SU app. So guys, if you have initially obtained root by Magisk and then obtained root by the kernel SU, then after you have obtained root by the kernel SU, the root by the Magisk will be gone, and you will simply remove the Magisk app on as well from your phone without any issue whatsoever. So guys, these were the three approaches using which you could easily obtain root on your phone. The first one is using the forboot command. It's quite an easy approach. You simply have to flash the kernel via in the boot partition using the forboot command. Then comes the recovery approach, in which you have to flash the custom kernel in the boot partition of your phone. Then we have the kernel Flasher app. It's quite a lengthy approach. First off, you have to obtain root by the Magisk or the APatch, and then you have to install the kernel Flasher app, and then install the kernel SU in the boot partition using this app, and then do a restart. After the restart, the Magisk root will be gone, and you will only have the root from the kernel SU. You may then remove the Magisk app from your phone as well. So on that note, we're on to this video. Okay, one more thing, let me show you some important points with regard to the kernel SU. By default, as opposed to Magisk, there is no built-in Zygisk in the kernel SU. If you want to have Zygisk, then you have to flash a module which is explained in this guide, as you could see. So in case of Magisk, you would easily enable Zygisk from this settings menu, but that is not the case with the kernel SU. You will have to flash the Zygisk next module to enable Zygisk. Apart from that, one more thing, if you want to flash any module, then simply go to the module section, type on install, and you may then easily install the module. Now comes the most important part. As opposed to Magisk, in Magisk, if you obtain root by Magisk, and then if you launch any root app, you get a super user request in the initial time. As you could see in my video as well, when I had installed the kernel Flasher app and I had launched it, I had got a super user request. So if you have obtained root by Magisk, you will always get a SU request, but in case of the kernel SU, you will never get the super user request. So for example, if you're trying to use a rooted app, for example, let me show you this app, the root checker app. If I force stop and now launch it, allow, agree, get started, type on verify root. As you could see, the root is not installed. This is because in Magisk you would have got a super SU request, but over here we did not got any request whatsoever. So that is why you have to always give it the root access manually from the SU app. So launch the kernel SU app onto your phone, tap on super user. Now you have to give the SU request from this section. So choose the app of your choice, enable the toggle from here, and then it has got the root access. So now launch the app and tap on verify root. As you could see, we have now obtained root. So this was happening because you will always have to give the app the root access from the manually from the app. You will never ever get the SU request. So always keep this point in mind to give them the root access from here. And that's, I guess that's just about it. So guys, on that note, we round up this video. If you have any query with regard to any of the steps, do let me know in the comment section, and thanks a lot for watching.